John Jr. and welcome to my YouTube channel, Reefing is Simple, where we like to do reefing simple. Today we got the fish tank and everything up and running. Added the C90 to the water and everything too, and got salinity close to about 1.025. Now, there are a few issues that I had to deal with yesterday. Well, we call them teething problems, but mainly I had leaks on the bulkhead seals, so I had to work on getting those fixed, and also had to wait on the water to clear up after adding the salt and everything too. And next thing we're going to doing is adding sand to the tank, because I don't like bare bottoms. That's just not me. I'm a sand guy, and that's what I like in my tanks, is sand. And I did put some lighting on top. This here is just some lighting that I had when I first started my 125 until I went to the nuke side LED lighting. Now, the next thing that we're going to be doing next is adding the sand. But there's also another issue that I have been dealing with yesterday. And this issue has been a noise that has been coming from my CJ pump. Now, it's not the fault of the pump, but it was my fault, because of the fact is that I hard plumbed the whole thing in. As you can see, everything in that pump there has been hard plumbed. And I also have what looks to be, hopefully will be a solution, is I went to my local Lowe's store, home hardware store, and I bought some of these rubber couplings. So I'm going to make these into isolation valves, so that way any vibration that comes from the pump, these not valves but isolation couplings, will help to isolate the vibration and to help things a little bit more quieter. And I'm also using my sound level meter to see how many decibels is put out before we make the modifications and how much is put out after we make the modifications. Main thing is that I would like to make the tank a little bit quieter and a little bit more bearable, but over time, you know, when we get used to it, and it's not as bad as it is. I mean, when I did test it, I only got 64 decibels, which is not bad. You know, if I can get it down to 60, that'd be great. But all we can do is just try and see what's going to happen. But I'm going to go ahead and turn off everything, get ready to do the modifications on the system. I got to drain the water out of the sump too, so I also got to put a valve leaving the sump going into the pump, so if I have to shut anything off, I can just isolate the pump. If I need to replace it, if I need to do maintenance on it or whatever, then instead of having to re-drain the sump over and over again, which, you know, I don't want to make things complicated, but I just want to keep things simple. Okay, that's how I like to do a reef tank. It's simple. So I'm going to go ahead and start to get work on this tank here, and before I do that, we're going to go ahead and take some decibel readings from the pump here. I'm going to let you all see what I'm doing so that you can see the decibel readings that I'm getting. Alright, hang on. Now this right here is a good look at the aquarium itself. It's got a little bit of natural sunlight coming in, that's why I try to keep the blinds closed. But as far as you can see right here, this right here is the aquascape, you know, and that right there is the overflow that I had installed yesterday. I had to install the overflow, and you can see the nice rockscape there. Now I will be adding more rocks into the tank today, and also I'll start adding in corals as well. I got the water temperature warmed up to a nice 80 degrees, and that's the temperature of the other tank. And these are here are what would be known as my boomy aquascape. You know, because I like boomies, Australian boomies. I really like those, and it makes the tank feel more spacious and lively. And that's what I like. You know, I like to have a nice spacious tank. Now here, down here, is our pump. That is a CJ. Yes, that is a CJ Senora ADV 9.0. I mean, this pump does over 2,500 gallons per hour, and this right here also is the sump. There's the protein skimmer. I actually turned the protein skimmer off because I thought it would help out with clearing out the water and everything, but yeah, it looked like it did clear some stuff out of the water though, but not much. But I know these filter pads, I mean this pillow stuff in here, and also some of the filter polishing pads, those did a pretty good job too, so I can't complain. Okay, now back to the pump here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this meter here, we're going to go ahead and turn it on. Okay, now if you can see right now, this is me talking, testing, toast, and that's when it's quiet. So what we're going to do is I am going to take this union and such here out, and I'm going to reuse this valve here so that I can isolate this line. And we're going to take this is an 1.25 inch coupling, rubber coupling. So I went ahead and got some bushings, and we're going to take these bushings here, and we're going to take the bushings like this right here, and we're going to make a coupling that will go in here to isolate, to help to make a vibration isolator, to isolate the vibrations coming from the pump going through this hard pipe, because all it is doing is that it's causing the vibrations coming from this pump here, and it's going all the way down, traveling all the way down, and it's going here into the sump. So this whole thing right here basically is like a harmonica, you know, pretty much making a lot of vibration harmonics and such, and you know, it's going to the sump. And also same thing here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to probably cut here, or I might just cut it up here, so that way up here, so that way I can put another isolation coupling in, and that way it'll help to reduce the vibrations going to the main tank and keep the vibrations here towards the pump. Now it does have the rubber feet at the bottom to help reduce the vibrations. That does help out, you know, substantially. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and turn this system off and drain down the sump, which is why I'm going to have to put the valve in the system, so I can so if I shut everything off, I can isolate this right here, will not have to worry about draining it, you know, leave it be, and just focus on dealing with this right here. Okay, so without further ado, I am going to go ahead and get this right here worked on, and we'll be back soon. Okay.